Quern is playing Final Fantasy for the After Years.
Yep, I'm currently doing that. I have a bot.
You wait, serious?
Yeah.
So you're just grinding?
I'm trying to get the goblin drop.
Dude, I've been trying to get the goblin drop my entire life. That shit don't work.
You downloaded
wait,
a bot?
What do you call the goblin drop?
I need to stop asking questions about James and his computer because the idea
because
that
you gave him the computer.
Because the idea that he downloaded a bot, which is probably just rife with malware and viruses, is causing me to go into epileptic fits.
I'm not that computer dumb.
His computer's gonna take a goblin drop later on tonight.
Terrible. I know you're not that computer illiterate, James, but
however, if we do go back a few years, the first time we tried to podcast, when we were trying to download Audacity or something like that, James, or something.
Yeah, it was
James,
Audacity.
James decided to just click on whatever he saw and downloaded some bullshit onto Devin's computer.
That wasn't my fault. Devin just clicked okay.
No, I don't think it was Devin.
No, it was you, dude.
But so all of a sudden, Devin had like weather bug on his computer.
He cleaned it all up. He was good.
Yeah. I cleaned it all up.
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel.
I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast where my friends prevent me from fighting a series of Mega Man villains in downtown Detroit and instead force me to watch movies. This week, we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally-ho.
We have Chris Arsenault.
Code of the Gladiators.
We have James Barrup.
This is an honest sport.
And I am your host, John Barrup. This week we've got a treat for you in
it's a bunch of Jesse the Body Ventura quotes.
Yeah, well, there's a reason.
You got time for Jesse Ventura quotes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jersey Ventura quotes.
This week we've got a treat for you. We watched. You can consider this a treat.
Every week's a treat.
Yes,
But
every
this
week.
week's a treat.
Oh,
and special.
it's one of those things where like every day that you're alive is a gift from God.
That's why they call it the present.
Yes.
That's why a lot of people don't like God.
Because of the Running Man?
No.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we watched The Running Man. A wrongly convicted man must try to survive a public execution gauntlet staged as a game show, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Conchita Alonso, and Yaphet Kotto, directed by Paul Michael Glazer. Now, as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie gets to review it. That would be Chris. So, Chris, how do you feel about The Running Man?
He's looking.
So apparently he is also responsible for directing The Air Up There.
Oh, nice.
And Kazam.
Oh, very nice.
Where Shaq played a genie.
Wait, wasn't that Sinbad?
No, it's Shaq.
I know.
Okay.
No, that wasn't a joke. That was a Twitter joke.
Okay.
Yeah. For a while there was like this saying, like the Mandela effect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, James with jokes.
Yep. Starting early.
Chris has no time for the bullshit.
You ain't got time for James's jokes.
I have time for jokes.
Not to bleed.
Okay. The Running Man.
Yes.
Possibly the greatest 80s action movie ever.
Yes.
Hold on.
Whoa.
I know what you're thinking. What about Lethal Weapon? And I say to you, I'm sorry you're an idiot. Whoa. I know what you might say next. What about Die Hard? And I will reply, that is a Christmas movie, asshole.
What?
And every time I see a movie that has overly sensationalized hyperviolence, my question is this. Why don't we have this now? This seems awesome. Gladiatorial combat. You know, it's what the masses want. It's what we need. It's not like decent people are getting hurt. It's convicts. You know, they sign a contract. They're obviously, as the show, you know, or the movie presents it, are optioned to do it. He didn't have to do this.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
you know, he could have walked away.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You can't hate this movie.
Oh, can you?
It's funny, it's punchy, it's got action, puns, dystopian future, government corruption, media corruption, rebels who win the day, best friends, hot girls, audience prizes. Everyone's a winner, and people like winners. Participation trophies for everyone. It also has Asian professors playing hockey, human disco balls, and it even has a T-Rex.
What?
I'm a sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Okay, so I've heard that reference a bunch of times, the sexual Tyrannosaurus.
It's from Predator.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not in this movie.
Okay.
But it's Jesse Ventura.
Right,
in
okay.
Predator.
All right, there we go.
You've never seen Predator, then?
I've seen parts of Predator.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're missing out.
If not for the
Possibly
pod,
the
one of
best
these,
action
we'll have
movie.
to sit through that. Anyway.
If it bleeds, you can kill it, right,
Yeah,
guys?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
If it vapes,
Vapes,
you can kill it.
The lessons of this movie are all the more poignant, as it seems to be accurately depicting government and media in the year 2017. But it did it 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It knew we would fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
But what we're missing is a sweet-ass game show.
Well, it understood that a reality TV show would become the most powerful thing in the world in 2017.
What it didn't realize was that replace reality TV show with the media.
Wait, guys.
It actually thought there would be a separation.
Uh-huh. Guys, we're part of the media, right? Like this, John Hates Movies is media.
Yeah.
I'd say we are.
Entertainment.
I mean, so we're like the enemy of the American people now.
That's right.
We are the media.
Mm.
We are the enemy of the American people.
Yes.
This is what I've been working towards my entire life.
The enemy of the American people.
Yes.
So we
I'm
have
just trying
we
to
have
decide
Craig now.
whether I'm okay with that or not. not to say like whether I'm okay with the idea of that or how this effectively works in my favor.
Yeah.
Not I could give a fuck whether we are or not. But if this works for me, then
Us
I'm
being
for
part
it.
of the media, yes, that works for you.
Okay. We'll work on that more off.
Right. Yeah, we'll do some brainstorming,
Outside
see what we
the
come
studio.
up with. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Right.
should be putting John Hates Movies on your resume if you
No,
really
I
want
just-
it to work for you.
Yeah.
I just imagine us looking at a reference book and it says here you need power in order to leverage something. Well, shit.
Hey, we have power.
We'll
we
use
have, like,
our
3 or
hundreds of listeners.
We have like 3 or 4 people that like actively comment on our shit.
Yep.
That's right.
we are disrupting people's lives. I agree.
And we're taking applications for our 5th and 6th best weekly commenters. So hit us up on Facebook at John Hates Movies or on Twitter at John Hates Movies.
Active participation is a must.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Running Man. If you don't like this movie, you also hate Stephen King.
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, maybe I hate cocaine Stephen King. Or fucking Joe Bachman or whatever.
Richard Bachman.
Richard Bachman,
It's the same Stephen King. It's the same Stephen King that couldn't honestly write a straight grammatical sentence if you had a gun pointed at him. Okay, Eric knows what I'm talking about because he's actually read Stephen King.
I have.
Oh, me too. I'm a huge fan.
But he's in the room, so I can point to him.
Oh.
Which you listeners understand by the inflection in my voice. Stephen King is so frustrating to actually read.
His early stuff is more frustrating than his middle and late period stuff.
Still very frustrating. Though.
Yeah.
Also
Which is really why I always had super huge trouble reading Stephen King, and I've never really been a fan of reading Stephen King, but I like his stories. But to be fair, most of the way I've gotten his stories are through the plethora of them that have been turned into TV or film.
Yeah. The Stand is worth reading.
Yeah. Okay.
The Stand is like a piece of classic American literature. It really is.
With the exception of one part of it is worth reading.
Yes, there is a really weird bad part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about. The gunslinger story is hit or miss. There are some really good parts and there's some bad parts.
I've heard his newer stuff is easier, and I started trying to read one of those, and again, I was just like about a chapter, and I'm like, I'm not even sure what the hell's happening yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, I'm turned off and put it down. To each their own, whatever. So if you hate this movie, you hate Stephen King.
Okay.
I think that's for someone.
Point is, this movie is incredibly enjoyable. It is the pinnacle of pun Arnold. Like, he gets like 2 or 3 puns per kill.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just, come on. Not to mention, probably the best one ever was What Happened to Buzzsaw. He had to split. That was fucking fantastic. This also, I'm sure it's not, but like this is the only movie that I can think of that someone ever gets a line after Arnold says, "I'll be back," and Killian says, "Only in a rerun," which is the greatest comeback to that line ever.
It's appropriate for this movie because he's reusing his signature line.
I know.
Yep.
I know. But it works in the movie, unlike a lot of other times they throw it into his movies. He said he's going to be back to kill him. He's going to, do stuff to Killian. Like killing him.
Yeah, okay. So literally, yes, he's saying, "I will be back." But he says it like he's in the Terminator.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's the cliche line. But then Killian brings it together.
Yep.
Did James Cameron get litigious over this? They're jacking his shit.
At this point, Schwarzenegger probably owns that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the script, it was literally like, "I'll be back."
Yeah, it was the most nonchalant line.
I know.
Yep.
It's bizarre that in Terminator, that's the one that
It's
everyone
the
remembers.
follow-up to it.
Right.
Which took everybody surprised.
Right.
But nobody ever says, Arnold's catchphrase is, "I'm back."
Right. But, yeah.
Yeah.
This movie's great. It's a fun-filled romp for the whole family.
What?
Whoa.
Whose family?
Me and my family as a single person.
The Manson family. The Donner Party.
It's a great movie. It's super enjoyable. Okay. So here's the thing. What I'm expecting is, and I'll get this out of the way now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are all wrong. I want to preface everything you say because it's going to have to be said afterwards, and I don't want to have to interrupt you. So you are all wrong. This movie is good. Now, is it the greatest movie ever? No. Is it an exceptionally good 80s action movie? Yes. It has good pacing, a decent enough story. There's at least an explanation why he's even doing this. He was, got thrown into situations that were beyond him. Government's corrupt. He only went into the game to save his friends, who they ended up forcing into the game anyway. So he really ends up playing it to get out of it and save them. He's trying to save himself. I've seen more contrived stories.
How about, he involves Maria Conchita Gonzalez in this whole thing entirely against her will.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying he's a good man.
Well, okay. I feel like that whole last paragraph was that he's a good man.
He is not.
No, he's saying the plot makes sense.
The plot makes sense. I will say this: the plot makes sense up until Maria Conchita grabs an Uzi and is a badass. That one was out the door with me. I'm like, they
the
want
plot
to make
makes sense.
Cool or whatever, but what
Guys,
gun training does she have?
What kind of fucking vape are you guys on right
what
now?
What kind of gun training does she have? And why does she end up on her own in the hallway with a half-naked light-up doll baby in his underwear? What was up with that? Why was he missing his pants?
I think that actually...
I get the feeling they cut out something a slightly bit more rapey, because that was getting awfully rapey.
Oh,
that was
the people who made this movie saw that scene and said, "Oh, this is too much."
Right.
That tells you something.
Right. Well, I'm just saying it was too much and it was unnecessary.
Yep.
And they probably could have cut more of it out. But anyway, long story short, Arnold wins. The rebels win. It's a victory for the people.
Running Man, a victory for the people.
But that kind of is the point, though, right? Because while he's in the game, he tries to find the resistance.
He wants nothing to do with it. His friends get involved, and when they die, he takes up their cause because he cares about his friends and what they stood for. Yes,
anti-hero.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, John, for making my point. You're not wrong about that.
All right.
Movie's awesome. You should all watch it. Watch it 2 or 3 times.
All right, man.
And go ahead. Slop on your lies, gentlemen.
Fake news. We're running like a well-oiled machine over here at John Hates Movies. There is no interdepartmental stress.
This movie reminds me of RoboCop.
All right, I don't want to take over your job, John, but...
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead, James.
Oh, wait, me? You want me to go
Eric,
next?
Or anyone. Just feel free to jump in.
Eric's pointing at me. First, I want to say Chris is absolutely 100% right.
What kind of fucking circle jerks going on over there?
I don't know. I mean, this movie gives me real pause, not because of anything in the movie, just thinking about it later today. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. This movie really kind of hit that sweet spot. It's bad, but it's fun. And there's a lot to really enjoy and laugh about in this movie. So, I don't get it. Because, like John said, this movie reminds me of RoboCop. To me, RoboCop does have that extreme cheese, but it also has that awesome. But, I like extreme cheese in a bad movie, but I also cannot stand wrestling. I respect wrestling for what it is, and I actually really enjoy the kind of characters and bravado that they bring to the stage and everything. And I respect wrestling a lot for what it is, but I cannot watch it.
Well, of course not.
It's fucking painful.
I mean, you're watching 2 muscle dudes in their undies grapple.
Well, now they're extreme cheese, and there's a whole lot of extreme posturing.
Yeah. Extreme cheese is the only good part of it. The actual fighting, air quote.
Yeah, and that's the fighting is even cheesy. So this movie is absolutely ridiculous, and it's padded beyond belief. I remember the first time I saw this, I think I was in high school. So I didn't see this movie when I was a kid, so I don't really have a strong nostalgia attachment to it. But a lot of my my school chums, my schoolmates, friends or whatever, it was a big deal when it came out. So like all the people that I went to school with were like, oh yeah, this movie was really cool. Yeah, that movie was cool. And so like they finally put it on TV just by happen chance, and non-cable TV, in high school. And so I happened to catch it. And I think I must have caught I must have missed like the first half hour or 20 minutes. And honestly, I was no worse off.
No.
Because there is a lot in this movie that could just be completely and utterly cut out. Like, there's a couple of things that I'm just like, Arnold is he's ordered to shoot on innocent civilians that are protesting, and later on he's when he's trying to escape, leave the country and stuff like that, and he's got that girl that he's kidnapped and
leave
stuff.
the country to Hawaii.
Yeah, leave the country to Hawaii. Okay, whatever.
That's a great idea.
So
I need to work on my tan.
Yeah. So I bring up the woman and the him not shooting the civilians to bring up really one point is that that's not how fascism works. As anybody who's like read right-wing news, anything right now, the comment sections and stuff like that, just those people out there protesting is enough to justify them being mowed down. In that sort of environment, yeah. If they were to break a window or set a building on fire, then absolutely yes, the police can come in there and kill everybody.
Yes.
Whether they're innocent or not. So that's completely like them editing the footage so that, he is the person who goes down and shoots them all. No, they would have showed him not following an order. Like, that would have been no.
Well, no, it's part of the lies of the media. They wouldn't show that the government's mowing them down. They want this done, and then they'll put the blame on its own. So the government's not to blame. Well, this individual who's a monster, who's the butcher of Bakersfield.
Yeah, right. I understand that, but I understand it works. It's
all about lying to the people, James.
It depends on what sort of what society they actually have, because I don't think that this society actually is fascist. I think it's something different, something that we haven't seen yet, but we might very well see soon.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In a fascist society, he gets thrown away for not following an order.
Yeah.
Whether, his real crime is not killing innocent protesters.
Yes.
And in a fascist society, that would be put on Front Street. The other thing is, when they say he killed somebody as he was escaping from the airport, and she's like, oh, that's not true. That's not what happened. All of a sudden, I realized my government lied to me. It's like, no. Even in those type of situations, everybody knows the government lies. It's really to what extent, So,
yeah, what level of woke was going on in this movie? None.
Zero.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
There was zero woke happening here.
There is zero woke. There is also, you can tell that the people who put this together were just having fun and did not give a shit.
Yeah.
What you get as a result is a movie that is all the things that it kind of preaches against.
Yeah.
It's not about violence or fascism is bad. It's really about it's okay for this person to be ultra violent and fascist as long as it's not this person.
Yeah, but that was also okay in the 80s.
Yes, well, yeah, because we weren't confronted with it like that's the other thing that Chris mentioned that is so hilarious about the beginning of this movie. There are often things on the internet now about what types of media got things right and what didn't. 2001: A Space Odyssey got everything wrong, but it was really good. It was a really good movie, but a shitty, a kind of low budget game like Deus Ex Machina actually is absolutely correct about the World Trade Center. They actually got the year right of when the World Trade Center was going to be destroyed in a terrorist attack. That was just happen chance because they couldn't actually render the towers in the game, but nonetheless, this movie, starts in 2017 and starts kind of describing the world that we're living in.
It's actually kind of appropriate that we're doing this movie right now.
Yeah, it's really kind of funny. So, needless to say, I love the fucking stalkers and their fucking over the top wrestler personas and everything like that. It's just a shit ton of fun just to watch Arnold kind of go around and do his thing in this movie. You can cut out so much in the beginning. Honestly, in my opinion, here's how you make this movie better, is you have really cut out most of the beginning, and you have more people running with Arnold. Like, that way you can pad it out without it being boring, and you can show that there's real stakes on the line. You can kill a couple people.
Well, and he can show that the Stalkers are competent.
Yes. That the Stalkers are truly deadly.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
If you had like 20 runners at the beginning, and Arnold was just
how the hell
are
they supposed to stack up against Arnold Schwarzenegger? He killed a fucking predator.
Yeah, I know. But, all right, so that's one thing. The other thing about this is that you can tell that the people who made this really did not give a shit. Arnold didn't give a shit because he turns in probably the worst performance I've ever seen, and this is Arnold.
What? Okay, so you're saying all this shit in defense of this movie.
It's dumb, but it's fun.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I had a blast watching this
Listeners,
movie.
Things are going to take a turn once James is done talking here. Because I know how
do what you do best and never stop talking.
Because I know how me and John feel about this movie.
You might be surprised.
What? No!
Eric's getting buried tonight.
Whoa, 3-on-1.
Eric's the running man now.
I'm coming for all three of you fucks. I'm taking no prisoners. Not even Richard Dawson.
Sub-Zero, now total zero.
God,
that was the worst line ever. The other ones were good, but that one I was just like, come on, Arnold.
That was the worst.
That was really awful.
That was
Just
the worst.
I mean, I realize that Batman and Robin came years later, but just steal one from that. I mean, like, go to the future and steal, like, an ice pun, please. Never have I wanted Arnold to make an ice pun more than that.
God.
Well, he also says he lost his head.
Oh, okay, that was good.
As they're running away.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they get the one dude back, and he's like, what happened to Sub-Zero? Oh, he lost his head.
I love the Stalkers the personas, because they make no sense. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're completely fucking ridiculous. Opera singing, electricity
Dynamo
guy.
is like the weirdest of them all, though.
The fucking
He's
Japanese
like the worst.
The
Japanese
professor ice hockey. Give me what the come on.
You have a professional degree in ice hockey, don't you?
Professor Turo Tanaka. That is his actual
His real name is Professor
Turo Tanaka.
So maybe out of
Sub-Zero.
respect for his 8 years in hockey
Grad school. Oh, yeah.
He didn't go to 8 years of hockey school, so he could be called Mr. Sub-Zero.
Fuck you guys.
My favorite one-off line was, "Yeah, that hit the spot."
Yes.
All right.
Right after Killian hits his own sign.
So, this movie, you can tell that they did not give a shit because the rules for the game make 0 sense.
Right.
And they
People
were like,
just keep getting prizes.
yeah. They're just like, fuck it, who cares? Nobody's going to do this. If you make something that actually kind of makes sense, then, it gives the audience a little something to kind of get into as well, even though, like, all the drama is about, like, can Arnold stay alive?
The
Can
truth
he do
is
this?
that all the audience is a bunch of sheep who just,
No, I'm talking about the audience
what
watching
they
the
think.
movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the audience is a bunch of sheep who just eat what they're fed.
Yeah, okay. So, the idea is actually really good and was done with a lot of respect and done really well in the Hunger Games, because this is pretty much the exact same.
It's a similar premise. Yes.
Yeah, it's like the
It's
exact
very
same
similar,
premise.
yeah.
It is, yeah. But if you did something just a little more coherent in like the rules of the game and how they kind of follow and stuff, because none of this makes sense. So the guy chooses one stalker, and then he gets all the prizes, whether the stalker kills a person or not.
Apparently, yeah.
And then there are champions, despite the fact that no stalker has ever died, and a stalker always kills the runner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It funnels them into one room where they have a final battle with the Stalker, and considering that no other Stalker has died before, it means that everybody who has managed to make it to that room has been killed by a Stalker, yet they have 3 winners.
They can also escape from the area, because there are 4 zones they have to make it through.
Oh.
They have 4 zones they have to make it through in 3 hours to win.
Are you, what?
Did nobody listen to the rules of the game?
No. Nope.
I did.
You think this is a game?
I know the story, Running Man, is completely different.
Oh, yeah. The story is completely different in that, like, they
let you out in, like, America.
They essentially give you, like, a stipend, and you have to send in, like, a video report, like a video. You pretty much have to vlog to the studio, except you send them into the studio, and if you don't report your videos, they cut off your funding, but you are pretty much funded to run. Yep. And there are, hunters after you.
There's hunters, and also anybody who recognizes you can report you.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And they get prizes for reporting you.
Right. So it makes more sense on, why everyone would be involved and why not. But
so you have the 3 winners. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. It doesn't make sense why they'd still kill the winners anyway.
Well, they're criminals. You can't let criminals go. He has a contract with the Justice Department, James.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, whatever. But yeah, just a little more of a coherent game that was, a little more clearly demonstrated, not explained because that's boring, but just demonstrated would have been better.
I don't think it's really necessary.
James, did you understand the rules of this game more, or baseball in Major League?
I think baseball, honestly, in Major League.
Saying.
Yeah. So this was just an excuse for Arnold to fight big muscle.
To have like 4 boss battles.
Yes. Yeah.
Like those were the rules of the game.
You know what? I'm fine with that. That was a movie, and it did it, and I was like, yep. And that tunnel with the bobsled, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I can dig this. This is a movie you shut your brain off and just sort of enjoy. And Dynamo. The only thing I don't like about Dynamo is that I think they realized how dumb he looked once they put all the shit on him. So they never gave you a really good look at him or his stupid golf cart.
Right.
But the truth is...
I love that the first thing he does is go out and flip it.
It's really hard to flip a golf cart, too. Yeah. I've tried.
No, see, that's exactly that was me watching this movie last night. And that's why I say I enjoyed it.
Oh.
So at the very end, him and his kidnapped victim get together, which is really stupid. As that was going on, I was like, yes, you sound just like my housekeeper. Come with me, I will put the baby in you.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Sweden? It's because it sounds like you have Stockholm syndrome.
It's true, I have a bastard child with my housekeeper.
Okay. We got it, James.
Yes, I gotta explain the jokes or else people won't get them.
All right. So I think what we're going to do now at this point is ask James if he's done, and the answer is yes. And so I think I'm actually going to step in and go next, just so that we can get the 3 likes out of the way, and then the dislike.
I'll drive on Eric.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And we'll let Eric tie this up before we break for the game. So I actually don't have a lot to say about this. I mean, it is exactly what you've been hearing. It's pretty solid for what it is.
What?
What? And what it is crappy
fuckface.
What it is a crappy 80s action film. I mean, that's what this is. This is the perfect movie to half pay attention to while you're doing something else. Ideally
what, like
drinking
work?
Or work, for example. I think the key might be paying only half attention to it.
I paid only half attention to it.
Well, then maybe not.
Which means only half my soul died.
But the reality is that this is pretty typical of its genre. If you like this sort of thing, which I do, I have a special place in my heart for this kind of campy crapness, then you're gonna like this movie because it's got all the things that everybody's been saying so far on this review.
It's got Shart and Harm.
It does not have Shart and Harm.
No, it doesn't have Heart and Charm. It has Shart and Harm.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Really, honestly, what it has is it's got puns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got 80s action. It's got Arnie at his best, which is also his worst.
Yeah.
And it's quotable, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's not 2.5 hours long. It doesn't even necessarily really... Now, I'm going to get some flack from Eric, but I don't even think it feels like it's 2.5 hours long. I don't think that it has pacing issues, which is usually my big problem. I think it moves pretty sprightly, and I think it goes in the direction that it needs to, and since the plot isn't super complex, that direction is pretty much a straight line with the occasional zig and zag. It doesn't spend a lot of time with side characters, and there's really only 2 sets in this entire movie, the production studio and Detroit. So
fuck you guys. I used to live in Detroit. Well, so did John. Well, not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really.
I did.
Still not a fan, though.
Yeah, John got to live in fucking Ann Arbor like a rich asshole.
I also lived in Westland, though, which is not a rich area.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with anything, and certainly has nothing to do with this movie. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at that. I think that I think this is the movie that is, if not your first choice, at least at the top of your list, if you're ever going to do an 80s action night movie night.
What?
Yep.
You heard him.
All right.
Eric's gonna explode.
What the fuck's wrong with you guys? Like, so we've even like mentioned it in this episode. Like, you're gonna watch this instead of like Predator or Terminator.
Oh, I think I'm definitely watching Terminator. Probably.
Yeah, I think this belongs there with them.
What? I'll tell you why. Because this movie looked like hot garbage. Now, John, you're telling me that this movie didn't take any zigs or zags. It went in a straight line. Well,
actually, he said it went in a straight line, and it zigged and zagged.
Like there weren't very many complications. It just came out, it got into the pipe, and it went down the pipe. Now, when I wake up in the morning and I stagger to my bathroom.
Really? Is this where you're going with this? This is James level joke.
And what is it? The
Goblin Drop?
and I farm the Goblin Drop. It gets in a pipe and it goes in a straight line and it doesn't zig or zag. It just does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
What it's supposed to do is get the fuck out of my house because it's fucking disgusting. It's a piece of shit and it needs to go into the sewer and away from my house. All right, and that's what this movie is. Yes, it does do what it's trying to do effectively, but what it is doing effectively is a piece of shit. Just like saying that it's an effective piece of shit doesn't not make it a piece of shit. Like this is hot garbage. It looks really bad. Like this is like TV. Like the effects on this movie are American Gladiator level effects. Like it's really bad. Like this movie is an 1.5 hour long episode of American Gladiator that they filmed in Metro Detroit that they used really bad effects on, and it looks really bad. Arnold's lines aren't good.
You could say they're bad?
Shut up!
Fuck!
how many okay, so can you see does my face look normal right now? Am I all right? Like my head isn't like cracked in two.
Yeah.
Because like I spent an hour and a half last night rolling my eyes so hard that I thought my head was going to split in half. All these puns are stupid. He's recycling lines from other better movies. Like we're supposed to think that like, okay, all the other stuff that Arnold's been in is neato, I guess, for people that like Arnold movies. So he's just going to do some of that same old shit here, but in a worse setting. Okay, the style of this movie's just idiotic. When he gets back to his brother's apartment or whatever, what's that friggin' yellow hard hat, like fashion hard hat that he's wearing? And his like Gold's Gym tank top that he brought like from home because that's where he worked out in the off season.
He was pretending to be a construction worker. He had a tool.
No, only thing Arnold's pretending to do in this movie is be an actor. Now, John, I'm going to disagree with you because you're saying that this movie is Arnie at his best. Arnie at his best was the very first movie he was ever in. It's a little indie flick. It's a little art house film called Pumping Iron. That's Arnold at his best because he's not an actor. He's just a beautiful man with a beautiful body. Look, I'm not wrong about that.
No, you're not. You're not.
I'm not. I don't even care how that sounds because I'm not wrong about it.
Yep.
But he's not an actor. We just decided that in this movie, we were going to take wrestlers and bodybuilders and give them lines. Jesse the Body Ventura is like the sideline reporter in the locker room. And he's trying to give inspirational speeches of how these these molesters, what were their names? Stalkers. That's right. The stalkers were gonna they're getting all oiled up for the fight later, and it's gonna be really good. No, it's not gonna be really good. Arnold's victim in this movie ends up loving him at the end. Yeah, that's wonderful. Like him screaming into the television at Richard Dawson because somehow the prices or the fucking Family Feud has something to do with this. I don't know. All right. All the air just came out of my balloon. I got to blow it back up for a second. This movie sucked. This movie really sucked. Why is there an opera singer?
Why not?
Why is the Asian guy a hockey player assassin?
Asians can be whatever they want. They're
yeah, they can.
Why are you discriminating?
I'm not. This movie is so stupid. This movie is so stupid. Don't watch it. This movie is everything that was wrong about 80s movies. You guys are saying that this is like a distillation of all that was great.
Yeah.
But those movies weren't great. They weren't good. They weren't good. These movies aren't good. And a distillation of things that aren't good is just a really bad thing. And that's what this movie is.
Did you like Fireball's jetpack?
Thank you for bringing up.
James, you had to bring that up.
Thank you for bringing.
What side are you on?
Thank you for bringing up Fireball. Do any of you know who Fireball the actor was?
No. I know he's getting hit off for no
really
reason.
familiar.
Or something.
Chris, what's his name?
Let me look it up. It's
you had
Roy
it.
Brown, I think.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Yes, Jim Brown. Now, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Brown, at the time of this this movie, was considered, and really by some is still considered, the greatest football player of all time.
Oh.
Yes, he was a running back for the Cleveland Browns in the 50s and early 60s. He was absolutely, completely unstoppable. And he was completely unstoppable for like 8 or 9 years, and then retired at the top of his game because he wanted to get into acting, and he did, and he had a successful career in acting afterwards, and saved his body, and he's still alive and is still a healthy man, and good for him. But this movie misused Jim Brown so poorly. Like they introduce him like, so when I turned on this movie, he got third billing behind Arnold and Maria Conchita, and then Jim Brown. Now he was like what, the fourth stalker that Arnie had to fight. There was Hockey Man, there was Chainsaw Man, and there was Disco Ball. There was the guy with this fucking golf cart that he flipped.
Yeah, he was fourth.
There was Rainbow Brighton golf cart.
Right. The fifth one was Captain.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Jesse.
Yeah.
So his fight with Jim Brown is basically, so they go into the station where they have where they're conveniently just keeping around the dead bodies of the ex quote unquote winner contestants.
Yeah.
Yep. Take a deep breath, Eric.
Well, if they cleaned up their evidence, they wouldn't have been able to find him. And then the whole movie would have had no point.
Right, I know. It's like you guys saying that the plot makes sense. Just because the plot makes sense doesn't mean it's good. Like, yeah, it made sense. Like because they're just doing stupid shit. So like anything that stupid people do makes sense because you never know how dumb they're gonna be. But okay, so like Jim Brown goes in with his flamethrowers and he's gonna okay, so the first thing I'm saying is they could have done a better job with these Stalkers at making the characters that they played interesting and relevant to who the actors were that were playing them. Mm-hmm. Like they just could have. Like they could have made Jim Brown like this like ultimate bruiser that was just gonna like run them over and like they were gonna have no chance at beating him, but instead he was a flamethrower. They could have made the Asian guy a samurai or a sumo wrestler, but they made him a hockey player. Like I like maybe they thought they were being like they were going against the grain with this stuff, but it just ended up being so absurd that it's idiotic. I don't know. But so then Jim Brown's just dispatched like he pulls one of the gas tanks off of his jetpack and then he just blows up.
No, he throws a road flare.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What did he say? Like, cool
with a hot head.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. This movie's fucking stupid. Why did you like this movie? Like, I get it. Why Chris and James like this movie because they've been watching these movies. I guess is the same thing for you because you've been watching these 80s action movies your entire life, and it's like I'm desensitized to garbage. So like, so like I'm okay with. So like I imagine the first time that somebody that's never had McDonald's before sits down and eats like a quarter pounded with cheese, like they don't feel great after doing it.
Right.
But people that eat McDonald's every day, like they just pile that shit down.
Right.
That doesn't mean McDonald's is good.
No, and McDonald's
you can pile
is
it down all the time and it tastes fine. Like it's gonna give somebody that's not desensitized to it a stomach ache. And that's what this movie did for me. Like this isn't good. It's garbage. Like, I don't know what to say.
I think you've said it, Eric. I think you have communicated your viewpoint on this.
Wow, what's wrong with you?
I'm actually a little unclear on how he feels about the movie.
I'm honestly surprised as the guy who introduced me to Ric Flair that this movie is too much for him.
Ric Flair is wonderful. First off, Ric Flair is a real showman. And this movie had none of that. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Well, this is one of those few times on John Hates Movies where I seem to have taken leave of my senses. And, usually it's me and Eric as the voice of reason and Chris and James is God knows what the hell. But in this case, I'm just gonna have to, disagree and leave it at that. Now, you listeners, by now you know our tastes. You know who you agree with and who you don't agree with.
Yeah.
So make your own decision based on what you may have heard here today, or just independently watching the movie yourself.
No.
With that being said, yes.
Okay. I will step back and settle this.
Oh, rebuttal.
Well,
Oh.
I don't think I need to rebut anything.
Okay.
I said my piece at the beginning, and I stand by what I said.
Yes.
I think what we need to do is give the audience the right answer, which is, if you like 80s action movies, watch Terminator or Predator. Does that make you happier?
It actually does. Yeah.
I like The Running Man. It's a good movie.
Well,
but,
but you could have said, if you like 80s action movies, watch Running Man. Because I don't really like 80s action movies.
just saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
After you watch
Chris is
Terminator and
right.
Predator.
But Predator and Terminator are watchable for people that don't like 80s action
Yes.
movies.
Yes.
They are.
This
Because
is
they're
not.
sci-fi movies, too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like this much of sci-fi. It has almost.
This is exactly what you said it is, Eric. This is the worst. This is the distillation of the worst aspects of the 80s action genre.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
that
I
you can
disagree.
get.
That's Tango and Cash.
Did that come out in the 80s or did that come out in the early 90s?
I think that came out
It
in
might
the
have come
early
out in the early
Yeah,
90s.
but like
Give me
still
one
they were
second.
still distilling the same
Yes.
product.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
all right. So if that's true, then Chris is right. But at the same time,
89.
this
All right.
okay, so this is a runner-up, Running Man. This is a runner-up for the most distilled of the worst aspects. But the worst aspects
Or what some
can
people
be
love.
kind of fun.
If you like it, you
And-
like it.
If you like the stupid dumbass puns and the over-the-top violence and the we don't give a fuck about the plot, and really don't care if fucking wires are showing when we're making somebody move across the screen.
Or like when the car flipped, you could see the wires holding it up.
Exactly.
Like,
or like
come
the
on.
fact that half of the costuming is done by Light Bright. You know, I mean, if you're okay with that, then this is the movie for you. And when I watched this today, I was okay with that. And that's really where my opinion comes from.
If you like girls in what
Aerobic suits.
aerobic suits dancing to super shitty electronica.
That lasted
If
a
you-
minute.
10
if
minutes.
you
That
like-
lasted
that-
like more than a
Way
full
too
minute
long.
on the screen. Their dance
It
routine.
felt like 10.
All right, so so before the Running Man comes on, there's a 5-minute dance routine that everybody just sits through and is really happy about.
Well, no, I'm assuming that because all studios do this
They all
They
do,
have, like, a live
entertainment stuff for their
entertainment
live audience
to
before the
hype up
actual
their
show.
audience before the show comes on.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
And-
having a comedian on ahead. But,
Especially in the 90s and 80s with these live shows, you'd come in, the camera would go live at the tail end of these things.
Yeah, whatever. Well, then
Well,
why'd they show
speaking
me 5 minutes of a dance routine?
Because it's so cool, you gotta see it!
Oh, fuck Paula Abdul.
Well, for those of you who are curious, when we take our breaks, there is also live entertainment,
Yep.
and it's Eric in an aerobics outfit doing a dance routine. Maybe one day we'll get him to post the video. With that being said, we'll be right back after the break.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Tally ho, John Hates Movies listeners. It's Eric Largent with a quick reminder of how you can find us. The best way to stay appraised of all of our activity is to follow us on Facebook at John Hates Movies. There we'll post all of our new episodes as well as whatever we're feeling interested in at the moment. Please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast service like iTunes, Stitcher, or Podcast and Radio Addict. If you subscribe to us on iTunes, please leave us a comment. We read every single one, and they're much appreciated. You can also follow us on Twitter at John Hates Movies, or follow me on Twitter at Eric Largent. Now, stay tuned for the game and find out what movie we get to watch next week. And if you're feeling adventurous, watch along with us and leave us a comment on Facebook telling us what you thought of the movie. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is now time for your favorite part and mine. It is time for the game.
Who do you love?
Amen.
And as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie gets to pick the game. So that means, Chris, what have you got for us?
Okay. In John Hates Movies tradition,
Uh-huh.
I need your stalker name. No, I'm kidding. But I will need your stalker name. It's more complicated than that. You have to create your stalker, a persona, an outfit, their specialty, and their name. And then I, as Arnold, will figure out how to destroy you.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
All right.
So I'm going to grab a
Notebook here.
James is already just
laughing.
I think I pretty much got mine.
Well, if you want to go, you can. So what is your stalker name, Johnny?
Rocket Man!
Rocket Man.
Do you like Elton John?
Well, that's also part of my clothing. My clothing is a neo-80s futuristic Tron-esque spin on Elton John's signature 80s looks. So we're basically looking at a lot of really large glasses, I'm going to be constantly done in black light, too, so that, everything's kind of weird and shiny, so, my hair will be, bright white, and my teeth will be that weird kind of super glowy yellow, and I'll have,
see the stains?
Yep.
Yes. And then you can have, and I'll have, the, glowy makeup on, too, so I'm going to be looking pretty fabulous when I come down to blow you up with my dual shoulder-mounted rocket launchers. And a rocket launcher codpiece.
Of course.
Uh-huh. And so the Elton John song will be playing, but not Rocket Man, because we don't want to make too much sense.
Right.
Actually, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is going to be the song that plays when I show up in the arena. And so, in the black lit arena, you're going to have my rockets coming at you from all different angles. And then, my signature move is the hip thrust, which will unleash the rocket pack from my codpiece.
All right, Chris. Well, if you're ready, I think I'm ready with mine.
Okay, Eric, shoot.
So I'm a stalker, and when I'm chosen, as soon as I'm chosen, people in the arena are gonna hear this trumpet come in really it's gonna blare in kind of slowly ba-da. And then so when the contestants, when they come for me, I'll be sitting at a desk with a gun in my hand, wearing a bulletproof vest, singing "My, how the time does fly when you know you're gonna die at the end of the night." Singing da 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 da. Yeah, I'm fucking ska man, you know it. And if any of our listeners are looking to get more well versed in ska, you can just look up the band Catch 22. It'll be playing the song "Keys Be Nights." But I'm ska man. I'm obviously wearing black and white wingtips. I've got my suit on, black tie, white shirt. Driving a Cadillac, obviously. Got a fedora on. What, black coat, white shoes, black hat, Cadillac? The boy's a time bomb.
Is that your weapons? Time bomb?
No, man. I've got a trumpet which doubles as a machine gun, so when you lift the trumpet up and you push the 3 little keys, like that blasts out machine gun bullets. And when I really want to finish somebody off, I've got a trombone that it looks like a trombone, but it shoots out like bazooka rounds. It's like a rocket launcher or missile launcher. And I fucking just annihilate people with my trombone. And then when I'm done, when I finish them off, I just skank off stage.
I will note that your finishing move is skanking off stage.
Yes.
You're stealing my shit with your rockets, man. I'm the rocket man.
I have this shit written down, man. I have it written down. Trombone bazooka. I'm not stealing your shit. It's ska. Nobody's stealing
it's like
it.
if
I say ska, nobody's stealing it. That's all mine.
Yeah, all right, okay. Here's my guy. My guy is a saucy dangler.
Is that his name?
Yes. His name is
the saucy dangler.
Okay. Who's gonna pick the saucy dangler though?
Lots of people, because he's awesome, and you hear like this, like the whole thing goes black, and then you hear like a bunch of drums. It's like do 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 do. You know, it's just like pounding you in the guts.
Do 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 do.
And then from like the ceiling, the light comes on like a dark, and from the the thing that holds the lights up, like
scaffolding.
The scaffolding, yeah. Dangling from the scaffolding upside down is the saucy dangler. And then he does a backflip and he lands. And okay, so pretty much he's like native themed, like generic native, with like a cod piece, not a cod piece, but a loincloth, a fur loincloth.
Sure.
And he's got like on his back big old sauce tanks. And like some vinyl leads that lead down to his wrist, like Bane or Pyro. If your comic guys.
No.
And like he can shoot acid and hot sauce.
Okay.
And his finishing move is when like he pulls out like a big ass like blowgun like didgeridoo type thing and shoots like a giant glob of like of sticky sauce or burny sauce or acid sauce at you. But the thing is that you never see him coming because he climbs stuff and he dangles from the ceiling and he jumps down and sneak attacks you. And that's the saucy dangler.
Oh my.
Jesus.
You never know when he's coming, but you better start running. That's my catchphrase.
I'm not writing that down.
The Bombay Boogie. When the saucy dangler comes for you.
Jesus.
Oh, James. Poor James.
Well, my goal was to try and figure out how I would defeat you as Arnold.
Yeah.
But I just want to do kind of a quick overview. I feel like the only stalker of this group who wouldn't be so distracted by themselves would be
Skyman, obviously.
No! Surprisingly, would be James.
No!
Yes. What? Because I think John would be defeated by his own shiny, the black lights blaring and all the sparkly. He's gonna stand out, so you just gotta hide in the shadows and sneak up on him. Yeah, he's throwing rockets, but he's creating such a cacophony. He's gonna be deaf. So you could literally just run up screaming behind him and crack his neck. So I'm sorry, John. I think we're gonna just sneak up on you and snap your neck.
Aww.
Is there a catchphrase?
That's lame.
Well, okay, catchphrase for
or one-liner.
What was John's guy's name?
He was Rocket Man, and I guess I would say he failed to launch.
Oh, clever.
It was a failure to launch.
Yes, exactly. Eric.
What?
I like your commitment.
Thank you.
I love it. In fact, it was great. You know.
Thank you.
You just built your character entirely out of ska lyrics. It's like they've been working up to the point of building a stalker for the Running Man.
Hey, man.
You never knew.
Right.
You never knew.
Yeah.
But like I said, I also wonder if you're so fixated on all your, making sure your wingtips are shiny and polished and your trumpet and trombone are properly lubed that, you're not going to, you're just not going to see him coming, right in the corner of your eye. You should have seen it, but you're busy, trying to get Flight of the Bumblebees out.
Right.
That or trying to get your Cadillac to start because those big beasts with those 400s, you turn them over. I'm just saying, it's a good chance you're gonna die. Don't know how to kill you though.
I got it.
What are you thinking, James?
John's already dead, so he steals a rocket from Rocket Man, and then he blows up Eric Ska-Man while he's trying to start the Cadillac.
That would do it.
Let's see you pick that one up, Ska-Man.
It looks like the janitors are going to have to pick him up.
Now, the Saucy Dangler.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny. You have these tanks of hot sauce and acid, and you have a didgeridoo shooting glob sauce.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I have to defeat you because I assume in a freak accent flipping down from the scaffolding, you managed to launch the glob sauce out of your didgeridoo while melting your own hands with the hot sauce and acid and get yourself lodged in the goop. And didgeridoo is too lame of a catchphrase.
It looks like he's in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Wait, so does nobody win? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Yes. No one wins. I get to pick again. Oh, God. You guys all came up with hilariously awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. High praise.
Seriously. I'm actually really...
I guess you're just going to have to flip a coin.
I'm going to give it to John, and I'm going to explain why.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad for John for sucking at games. No, I'm kidding. No, because John just kept on putting it out. Like, he figured it out and just kept on giving me detail and detail and detail. I have more detail written for his than probably both, realistically, both Eric and James combined.
Whatever.
But to be fair, I only was half listening to James because only half of it was legitimately worth typing. I mean, I like them all, but John, your rocket will soar.
Oh, yeah! Rocket Man! Oh, baby. Yes, I do suck at games, so I didn't actually pick a movie for next week, but I have an idea. I have two ideas. And I want you guys to pick between the two.
Okay.
What's this?
What? I don't hear anything.
That is
He's
not
trying
the Johnny
to
Wynn
stink off
song.
stage.
Okay.
What? I can't hear anything, John.
Stop!
Starts dancing.
To the best of song.
Alright, so I have a question. Do you guys want to watch something... Do you guys want to watch a dark comedy or a horror flick?
Doesn't matter to me.
I think maybe it might
Come for me, I'm standing at my desk with a gun in my hand, wearing a bulletproof vest, singing, my, how the time does fly when you know you're gonna die at the end of the night is there, bang. Whoa!
Saucy Dangler approves.
Boo!
Ska. I wouldn't mind a horror movie. I would do it.
Okay.
If everybody else is interested.
Okay. Then we are going to watch It Follows.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Ooh.
I haven't seen It Follows. But been meaning to watch it.
I haven't seen it either, and I've been meaning to watch it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. We are going to watch a Spooktober movie, not in Spooktober. We are going to watch...
Wouldn't that just make it a regular horror movie?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe it would, Chris, maybe.
Maybe now horror movies are called Spooktober movies because the pod is so popular.
Exactly.
Changing the American vernacular.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch It Follows.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
That's what happens after the Saucy Dangler. It follows.
It follows.
That's what they say about the Saucy Dangler. It follows.
Good night, everybody.
A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, Incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say,
I'm out of energy, I'm going home.